Welcome everybody to Growth Mastermind Group. We're a group of entrepreneurs that are here to help each other fulfill and unleash their potential. And tonight we have a special guest, Mr. Brandex, who's going to talk about 11 keys of excellence. Mr. Brandex, please take control.
Hello, amazing people. Hope you guys are doing awesome. Hope you enjoyed your Resurrection Sunday and you have just been fired up and ready for the week ahead. I know I am. I know I've definitely been using my Sundays as a day of rest, but also a day of action. One thing I like to do is give myself 24 hours of rest. I know a lot of us are 10Xers and we want our business to go to the next level. We want to times 10 everything, but we also got to remember we're human beings, not just working beings. So it's extremely important that you get yourself a little bit of a break, a little bit of a rest before you go into that next level of 10X, because just like every athlete, every champion, every 10Xer, you need to rest your soul. So I hope you guys got some rest, but now let's get ready to roll. Just a little bit of background of who I am. I'm a certified weight specialist, a certified personal trainer. I'm an international model. I'm currently the USA representative for Man of the World. I've competed internationally. It's going to be my 4th time as a male model competing in international competitions. I also have a social media following, close to 30,000 people between all the platforms, TikTok, Clubhouse, Facebook, and Instagram. And I just love people. I love to see people thrive. I love to see people winning. Growing up, I didn't really have mentors or role models. I think I might have had one person that spoke into my life at such a critical time, but I didn't really have that in my life. And as I became a certified weight specialist, personal trainer, I realized that there is so much YouTube out there and fitness and all that, but what would make me different? And I realized it would be the mindset portion of it. And being someone who was raised with a very low self-esteem for many years. I mean, I was picked on, you name it. I went through a lot of stuff and I didn't like myself. So I started learning what are the ways to kind of connect people to connecting deeper with themselves. Because if you're going to go and build a business and you're going to go and work on things, you have to really first believe, above everything else, believe that you can even do it. Because if not, you're not going to show up to it. You know, some of you have side hustles or you have your main hustle, but you're playing small because you don't even believe that it's going to get to the level where you want it to go, because you don't fully believe in the person that you are. And I'm a big believer in God, and I believe he created us all with greatness inside of us, and that greatness runs through our veins. It's like impossible for us not to be great. But the only thing that stops us from experiencing the greatness that is inside of us is our own belief system, because our belief system affects our will, and our will keep us lazy. You see, when we are lacking motivation, it's shown through our actions. But when we're fired up, there's a level of excellence. And I do know that there was a Grant Cardone conference, I think last month, right? And there was so much hype and there was like, yeah, we're going to 10X, we're going to 10X. But when you get out of the event, do you continue the event in your heart? Do you continue the event in your mind? If you see behind me, I have a sign here. It says, motivation is what gets you started, but habit is what keeps you going. And based off of habit, that's how your whole life is going to change. You know, I know you hear people saying, oh, I wake up at 5 a.m. I wake up at 4 a.m. It's not that they're motivated to wake up at that time. It's that they've established the habit that if I do this, I'll be able to get amazing results with everything in life. And I want to talk to you today about the 11 keys to excellence from John Maxwell. But before that, I want to explain to you the definition of excellence from my perspective. I believe excellence is not perfection. The difference between excellence and perfection is someone who won't eat an apple because it's bruised. They'll be like, no, I'll never have an apple because it's bruised. But excellence is someone who checks the apple to make sure there's no worms in it. You see, there's a difference. There's an extremist version to perfection, and perfectionism is toxic because perfectionism becomes the excuse for procrastination. If you want to know why somebody really does procrastinate, chances are it's because they're a perfectionist and they feel that it's not going to come out to the standards of where they want it, so they hold themselves back from actually performing. But when it comes to excellence, it means your excellence. It doesn't mean excellence compared to anyone else. There is not a competition between you and the person 10xing next to you. This is a competition between you and who you were last year. So if you can all give yourself a moment right now, and if you want, you can write it in the comments of this Zoom, but do you believe that there has been a transition and a transformation that's taken place from April 2020 to April 2021? I'll give you a couple seconds. Do you believe there's been some form of shift? Peter says yes. Okay, I would hope so, because we're constantly supposed to be leveling up, especially if we're in a group like this where we're choosing to surround ourselves with winners and we're moving forward. Awesome. Marilena says yes. Okay, then that is what you have to build your foundation of excellence off of. If we leveled up 1% each day, then we will continue to transform with excellence. But if we choose to start going backwards, then we're working against our excellence. We're working against the true projection of what we want. And one key thing about excellence that I think is so important is having vision. You have to know what you want your life to look like for you to understand why you're going to show up to life. Okay, some of you have worked in certain places that you really despised, and you despised it, but you also found a way out of it because you created a vision to get out of it. My family, they come from Cuba. Cuba is a communist country. My grandfather had to see himself out of Cuba before he had to get a boat and literally come to America to save the entire family. For me to be here today in the land of the free is because he had to visualize himself out of it. Well, it's the same thing with poverty. You don't have to be in a communist country to be experiencing a struggle. You could be any country and be experiencing a struggle. It's a mindset. Poverty is a mindset, and excellence is a way of being. So if you want to break out of poverty in all aspects of the game and break out of being in debt, because some people, I've read statistics that people making six figures are still in debt. People still making close to 7 figures can still be in debt based off of their lack of excellence, because excellence doesn't just trickle down into your work ethics, it also trickles into your spending habits. But that's a whole nother conversation. So thank you all for being here, and let's get this party started. I'm a coach, y'all, so I'm used to yelling. Let's go. All right, so the first key to excellence, based off of John Maxwell, is to value excellence. One of the best ways to practice excellence is to value excellence. I'm going to give you an assignment moving forward. Everywhere that you see the act of excellence taking place, I want you to appreciate it. So for instance, you ever walk into a hotel, and in that hotel, you could tell there was no excellence? It happened to me. I went to Georgia and we stayed at 2 different places. We were on a road trip. One hotel, beautiful. The other hotel, there wasn't even paint on the wall. Like, there was a mix up of paint. It was just like the light wasn't working. And it's like, wow, you could just see the dimensions, and the price wasn't that off of how much it was per night, but it's just the location and the environment. And it was just like, wow, like, just the experience of excellence. And sometimes there's an entitlement of expectation for excellence. Like, everyone just has to do excellent work, and that's just how it is. And I remember working at my old job. A little backstory. I worked in an emergency room for 8 years, and there it was so much paperwork, but there was such a stress attached to the paperwork because these were patients' financial charts. And if you know how insurances work, any little thing that's off, the insurance says we're not paying for it. So then we would have gotten like written up, all of the above. Well, when I would do excellent work, my supervisor would just say, well, you're doing your job. And that mentality is destructive for an entrepreneur, for you just to be like, oh, you did a great job. Oh, I'm just doing my job. No, value excellence. Okay. It's so easy for us to be aware of when things are not going right, but do we really take the time to value excellence? You notice when someone's car is dirty, but are you aware of when someone's driving around in a clean car? You notice when someone's house is a mess, but are you vigilant when their house is clean? You see, if we can start to value excellence, we will continue to practice excellence, because excellence is a lifestyle. It's not just something you do for a season. It's not just like you clean your house because family's coming over for Easter. It's like, no, you choose to have a clean home because that's just how you choose to operate. All right, so that is the first key to excellence, value excellence. The second key is do not settle for average. Who here is not settling for average? Like, you are just taking it to the next level in your niche. You're like, I am not going to be your average blank. I'm going to be the top blank. All right, I see. What? Marilena's fired up. Awesome. Yes, I see the thumbs. I see it. I see it. Awesome. Awesome. You can't. You're not allowed, because if you settle for average, what is average? What I believe settling for average is settling for what has already been done. You know, have you ever heard the story of Roger Bannister? Roger Bannister was the first guy to complete a mile in 4 minutes. He was the first one to complete a mile under 4 minutes. Before that, a mile was always over 4 minutes. The average was over 4 minutes. So everyone just kept that standard. Do you realize that when he decided to complete the mile, and you know why? People didn't want to run a mile faster than 4 minutes because they thought their heart would explode. They thought they would just die. So everyone feared it. But when Roger Bannister decided to complete the mile under 4 minutes, then kids in school started passing that because they realized that the standard changed. My friends, my 10Xers, my growth conference friends on here, when you decide to break out of the average, you raise the bar for other people to start doing the same. And how many of you want to see this world shift into a level of excellence instead of a level of entitlement? How many of you want to see realtors stepping up their game and offering the best of the service because when they met you, it pushed them to do it? How many of you want to meet public speakers that change the game of just kind of here with a Post-it versus just communicating and connecting so that you can be and do that too? And you know what? There's a younger generation that is crying out for things to change. We are going to be that change through our excellence. As we accomplish our dreams and our purpose, we show the younger generation, your nieces, your nephews, your children, that the ability to achieve your dreams is a real thing. You want to see how I don't settle for average? I'm going to show you my vision board. 1 second. You see, this is my vision board. There's a private jet somewhere up there and all the countries I want to travel to. It's kind of impossible to settle for average when you want to have a house like this. But I'm not settling for average. I'm sorry?
I don't see your kids there.
No, they're here. They're right here. I got you. Boom.
Oh, cute.
Yeah, I got kids there. So you can't settle for average. You can't. You're not allowed to. You're not allowed to listen to this and choose to settle for average, because the truth resonates. And when you realize that when you're playing average, you're not giving life all you got. Limited. All right, next thing. This goes with value excellence. Pay attention to detail. Pay attention to detail. Pay attention to detail. When it comes to your work, be meticulous. Do not let one little thing slip. Do not have a typo in your email. I started sending out a devotional daily to my clients, and I proofread it like 20 times because I'm making sure that there's not one email and one typo in it, because it's just in the detail. I mean, I'm somebody, when I read an email and there's a typo, it bothers me. So I'm like, I'm not about to be the person sending out typos. And something so much just paying attention to detail. Your captions on social media, pay attention to detail in every ounce of your work. Your spending habits, my friends, pay attention to detail. What do you have on auto pay? Pay attention to detail. Okay, the people that are in your business, your best customers, your VIP customers, pay attention to who they are. Your reoccurring customers, connect with them. People who have left, one person's excellence is different to another's. Exactly. So pay attention to detail. And remember, to that comment, remember, you're going to your standards. You know when you can start putting in more detail and more work into your work. It's not about, oh, I have to be at the level of Grant Cardone and doing this. Absolutely not. Grant Cardone has had more time and more resources to get to the level where he's at. But I really believe there's an inclination of what we need to do when it comes to excellence. And we already know when we're slacking. And you can't slack and be excellent at the same time. They can't coexist. All right, next word. Remain committed to what really matters. I'm gonna share with you guys something that I heard one time and it blew my mind. It's called the 4 Ds. So if you want to write this down, the 4 Ds. Okay. This is how you choose what is the most important. You either do it, you delete it, you defer it, so you change the time that you do it, or you delegate it. You give it to someone else to do. The 4 Ds. By choosing to delete certain things, you're going to realize that you were focusing on things that were really not that important. I'm somebody who loves to save the world and to take on volunteer projects and help everybody and do collaborations with so many people. But the more busy I got, the more that my business began to expand and everything, I unfortunately had to cut off collaborations or just tell them like, hey, I'll do the collaboration when I physically go to you. Don't send me any more stuff because I can't do these things. Or I was joining this like volunteer giving back program, but they were at meeting every week and it was just postponed because of COVID, but then they were having virtual meetings. And I just felt like, oh my gosh, I feel like I'm slacking. I can't commit to their meetings. I'm slacking on their meetings. And I realized that whatever was making me feel like I was compromising excellence, but wasn't really something that mattered to the extent where I needed to be stressing out about, I had to cut it off. And that's a real key to success. The art of saying no is going to take you to the next level of success. So figure out what you need to start saying no to, what you need to start deleting, what you can delegate, what you can have someone else do. You can pay somebody to do certain things. You provide a job for them and you provide peace for yourself. If you could pay someone to mow your lawn, you're offering that person who's going to mow your lawn an opportunity to work and you get time to work. Add a dollar amount to your hour and say, would I pay myself, let's say $80 to mow my lawn? Or like, how am I going to do this? If my hour's worth $300, or I could pay someone $50, like what is going to be the better exchange? When you understand that, you'll stop doing the busy work and you'll start getting down to business. It's like that new song, let's get down to business. Let's get down to business. Get rid of things in your life that you don't need to be doing. Pay attention to that. Being busy does not mean productive. And there is a big difference. You could be busy. Oh, I was busy all week. Yeah, but were you productive? Did you bring in income? Did you get things moving? And I'm speaking to myself. I don't have it all together. I'm not this like multi-millionaire that has it all together, but I am someone who has to sit here and figure things out because I'm fully commission based. And if I don't get it together, nothing works. If I'm not in the game ready to win, there is no game. And no one ends up getting the services of what I offer. So I've learned that the responsibility of delegating is amazing. If you can have a VA, a virtual assistant, do certain things for you, it's going to help you out tremendously. If you could delete it, delete it. And if you have to do it, just do it. Just do it. Sitting around complaining and using your excuses of why you can't get something done, it's really not doing anything for your business. So do it. All right. So we are in key 5. Display integrity and sound ethics. So important. Be honest. I know that we all have a form of hustle, and if we extended the truth a little bit, we could get a lot more done. But at the end of the day, how do you feel when you're lying to your customer? How do you feel when you're lying to your business partner just so that you can get something done? It really, our hearts, like I say, knows when we need to practice excellence. Our hearts know our morals and the moral standards. So let's work on integrity. Integrity is doing the right thing when no one's watching. You know, when we break out of this employee mindset I was a horrible employee. I'm going to tell you right now, like, thank God I'm an entrepreneur now, because I was a horrible employee. Like, I did the bare minimum and got paid the same as if I did the maximum. So I was like, I'm just going to do the bare minimum because I'm going to get paid the same. You see, that's the problem with the employee mindset. You just show up, you get paid, you leave. When you're commissioned, you're like, you got to show up, you go hard, because you're not going to make anything if you're not performing. Well, integrity is doing the right thing when no one's watching. Putting in excellent work, even when you feel like no one's going to notice it, you got to do it for yourself. And sound ethics. The Bible says that those who build off righteousness, they can continue building. It won't be uprooted. So if you're doing some shady business, you can't do excellent work with shady business, because every time you're trying to do the next thing, you're worried about like what's about to be found out, what's about to take place. Like, find out how you can grow your business the right way and where it would last. You see, money that comes fast also goes fast, especially if it's not something with roots attached to it. So pay attention to that. Sound ethics and integrity is so key to excellence, and it helps you sleep at night. When you're doing shady business, it's really hard to feel comfortable every time you're trying to build, because you're like, all right, so when is this going to collapse? I believe building a shady business and having shady stuff going around for you to 10x, it's like playing Jenga. You're just waiting to pull out a piece for things to collapse. So just build. And if you got to start over, it's worth your piece, because whatever you build that has a strong foundation, your kids and your grandchildren and your family can benefit from it. But when it's shady, no one's going to get any of it. Just a heads up. Just felt led to share that. All right. Key 6, show genuine respect for others. Excellence is also in the way you connect with others. Okay. Don't be rude to the person who's your employee, and be amazing with the person who you're trying to collaborate with. Respect everyone the same. Just because someone has 20,000 followers doesn't mean you connect with them better than the person who has 20 followers. You still say hello if they follow you. You still connect with them. Thank you for the follow. Thank you for engaging on my page. If they comment on your stuff, thank you. Anything. They come into your business and they look all raggedy. You don't disrespect them, or you don't completely ignore them, because realize millionaires could be dressed in a t-shirt and jeans, and you're going to think, oh, they can't even afford this. Respect everyone equally. You don't know who you're talking to, and you don't know what can come out of the situation. Next one, go the second mile. Yeah. So you know what my theme for April is with my clients? All in April. Just all in, going the extra mile. Whatever you've been doing, now let's take it up a notch. You know, 2020 was not a cage, it was a cocoon. What we thought was going to keep us feeling in prison, it actually transformed us into a way greater version of ourselves, because it taught us that even though obstacles may have come, we are overcomers for those obstacles. And now that we've kind of been in this system for a while, we've learned how to move and maneuver things around. One thing I ended up doing was creating an online gym in the midst of a season where it just wasn't going to work out if I was sending people workouts to do at their gym when their gyms were closed. So I had to create an online gym that they could do in their living room as I recorded from my living room. But the extra mile is like, okay, I've been doing that for a year. Now, what is the next thing? You see, you do want to continue developing if you have a big goal in mind. And having a vision board helps, because every morning, this is my work desk. Every morning I look up, I see it, and my subconscious mind receives it, and it says, we're not there yet, so let's keep pushing. So how can you, I want you to write a little list to yourself, or you could say it here. How can you go the extra mile this week moving forward? What are the little things that you can begin to do to really take your business to that next level? And if you've ever heard of Earl Nightingale, amazing motivational speaker from like the 50s, he says, the greatest problem is that people don't think. People don't give themselves time to think. Instead of just responding to your business and all its needs, give yourself time to reflect and see what is, like they call the IPA. I know you guys sometimes think Sorry, I had a phone call. Sometimes you think that an IPA is just a beer, but they also say that it's an income productive activity. So write out your IPA, okay? Write out your IPA. What is the most income productive activity you can do in April that is going to scale up your business to the next level? And realize it may not happen the way you want it to, but it might just traject you to where you need to be to take it to that next level. And one thing I just feel led to share this is sometimes we get so disappointed because we plan and what we planned doesn't happen the way we expected it. So we just kind of throw in the towel. Thomas Edison, thousands of times messed up, but because he persevered, I have a selfie light in front of me. Because if Thomas Edison didn't do his job, this would be today's job without the light behind me. Maybe I'd have a candlestick in front of me. So you see, when you persevere and you keep going the extra mile, you're going to make other people's lives easier. And if you want to see this world better, you're going to be the change that this world needs. I'm a big believer in that. I'm wild and crazy enough to believe that we can each change the world in our niche, but we could just make this whole system better too. What I do in my industry is show people that not all fitness coaches are shady and scams. Because so many people have gotten screwed over in the fitness industry. And what I also show is that we don't just care about your money, we care about your soul and we care about you. But I go the extra mile to get reviews, to disconnect people from my program. You know how a gym has a membership and people have had gym memberships for 5 years and went 5 times? In my online gym, I let them know, hey, the month subscription is coming up. Just a heads up. If you want to leave, go ahead. I let them know the door is open to leave. You know why? Because I want to work with people who are practicing excellence as well. What is the point of me having 300 clients and only 20 testimonials? I'm all about the quality, going the extra mile. What is wrong with the industry that you're in? How can you go the extra mile to make sure that that's not what's wrong in your business? And some of you, what you could do is, if you want to see what is wrong with the industry, start looking up reviews, bad reviews of people within your industry, and see what people are complaining about. You see what people are complaining about, you'll start getting a deeper understanding of what you need to start working on yourself. Demonstrate consistency. I have to tell you, in the process of building your business or just planning and strategizing, there is something called shiny object syndrome. And in shiny object syndrome, this looks better. I want to do this now. Oh, I think I'll do this. Oh, but this is greater. And you don't give anything the time to develop. And because you don't give anything the time to develop, that is like planting seeds in the ground, but you forget to water the other seeds that are in the ground because you're so focused on the new seed that you planted. You'll never have anything grow. Consistency, it's just constant action. And consistency doesn't mean perfection. It doesn't mean that it's always and you're always getting it right. No, but what it means is that even if you fall off, because I understand we are humans, we're not machines. We're not manufacturing machines that we do everything perfectly every single day. Let's be honest. But consistency is, if you drop the ball, you get back up. So if you tell yourself, I'm going to wake up at 5 a.m. and one day you wake up at 7, you don't tell yourself you're a loser, I can never do it, I suck. No, you just say, okay, tomorrow I wake up at 5 a.m. again, and that's it. It's just going back. I heard that one time and it blew my mind. Consistency is just finding your way back on track. Maybe some of you right now are feeling that conviction that you haven't given yourself time to think about your business. Instead of beating yourself up like, oh, you suck, how could you not do this? How could you not get this? You just go. Use your brain and the ability, because I don't know if you know this, you get new brain cells every day. Use your brain cells to work for you and not against you. Use your brain cells to think of how things can work instead of how things are not working. The brain is so powerful. And every single day you're given new brain cells. It's called neurogenesis. And within that, you are given neuroplasticity, the ability to mold your mind. Imagine if we were to use our brains and the ability to mold our mind in the direction of where we want it to go for the good. But majority of people have negative thoughts, and majority of those thoughts are from yesterday. So let's really use our minds to be consistent and to create the consistent patterns in the direction of where we want our lives to go. Don't consistently beat yourself up. Don't consistently wallow in your sadness. Don't consistently stay in your worry. Be consistent in your belief in yourself. Be consistent in your work ethic. Be consistent in just pushing yourself like never before. Next one. Never stop improving. And this goes back to the last question. You guys said that you're a 2021 version of yourself because 2020 you were a whole different person. So, but let's keep going. How about April? You're an April version of yourself compared to March, that you really just keep pushing. You just keep going. That's why I like fitness, because in fitness, you could keep seeing the transformation in your physique, and then you just keep pushing and you're like, okay, so I lost my gut. Now I just want to tone it up. You know what? I tell people, why not look and feel your best? So why not have your business scale up to a whole nother level? Why not? I mean, this is the only life you have, and life is limited. And if you don't make it get better by the choices you make, it won't get better by chance. Nothing in your life will get better by chance. So never stop improving. Never stop pushing yourself to excellence. Never stop taking those courses. Continue taking the courses you need to do. Continue working on the education. I'm a big fan of education, not necessarily the education that this world offers. I'm very big on going and educating yourself through books that you can do, courses you can take, online coaching programs, whatever you can. Maybe write down on a sheet of paper, how can you improve? What areas do you need to improve? Do you need to improve in time management? Well, then you need an accountability coach. That's what I sit down and do with my clients. Beyond fitness, I sit down and I work on their structure, because I say, hey, if you don't really set your time out for yourself, there's not going to be a time for your workout in the middle of your day. And that's why you're going to feel defeated. But if you continue improving, everything in your life will improve. Because when you understand that you're running the business, it's all going to be dependent on you. If you're not doing well, your business won't do well. If you're not feeling good in here, no matter what you do out here, it's not going to work. So constantly work on improving yourself. Constantly work on your self-care, your personal care, okay? Do the things necessary to really work on yourself. Don't compromise self-care. Like, don't say, oh, I'm not going to shower tonight because I just have to wake up super early. Like, no, work on yourself. Work on your self-care. You are important. You are the vehicle that's going to get you to success. But realize you can't destroy the vehicle on the way to success, because then what will success be? And I know how sometimes people are like, oh, I'll sleep 3 hours and this will make me successful. Like, no, because then you're detrimenting your health. I've read so many scientific studies that it says that when you sleep up to 4 hours on a continual basis, it not only starts making you pre-diabetic, affecting your blood sugar, it also starts making you insane. It literally starts affecting the way that you reason. So I know some of you are like, oh, but I have to do it because for my business. I say pray about that, because your body was designed that it needs rest, because you're also going to affect the way that your metabolism works, because your body needs calories in order to stay awake. So your body will also hold on to calories longer, which affects your whole metabolism, messes up your brain, your blood sugar, your stress levels, your immune system. So I don't say compromise your sleep. If it happens once or twice, okay. But if you're doing it every single day because you say you have to build your business, you're not going to build your business with a solid foundation of health. And we are still a body. Beyond a business, we are a physical body. So just wanted to add that. Next, always give 100%. Always give 100%. You know, a huge part of success is just showing up. I've heard something that's like 70% of success is just showing up. But when you show up, give 100%. It's not so much about having 110. I love it. It's not so much about having everything prepared, but it's about always being prepared. Okay? Always filling yourself up so you can pour out into people. Always working on yourself so that when you show up to whatever you got to show up, people receive it. You see, that devotional I sent my clients now, I wanted to send that out 7 years ago. But the person I was 7 years ago versus the person I am today, completely different person. Completely different person. And it's because now I am actually more committed and consistent to be able to send out a devotional like that, because I have improved myself and because I have given my 100% to everything that I have taken on. I can now send that out. If you're wondering why in life certain things are not happening at the rate of where you want them to happen, question if you're actually giving your 100% in those areas. All right, and the 11th key, and I'll go over all of them at the end, just the titles. Make excellence a lifestyle. The way you do anything is the way you do everything. If you're lazy in your workouts, you're going to be lazy in your work ethic. It's proven. 80% of the millionaires in the US exercise at least 3 to 5 times a week. Because not only is it the best antidepressant, anti-anxiety, it is also a way of stimulating brain activity. I have this book here called Spark. Encourage you to read it, Exercise and the Brain. It says that when you exercise first thing in the morning, you also increase the ability to receive more information, to change from idea to idea, to be able to problem solve better. And you increase your dopamine receptors. And your dopamine is your feel-good hormone. So when you increase the dopamine receptors, you open the ability to feel good. And when people are battling depression, it's because their dopamine receptors are all over the place and they're not able to receive or feel good about themselves. So making excellence a lifestyle, start from the second you wake up. Make your bed. You're not always going to have a chance to make your bed. Sometimes you're going to fly out of the house, you completely forgot. It's not about beating yourself up. It's about the next day you make your bed. And you just remember, you go full circle. Consistency is not perfection. It's just finding your way back on track. Maybe some of you have fallen off and you're feeling so much conviction right now. You feel so much conviction. You're like, I don't even know where to start. Well, just start with your ideas. Start with brain dumping and asking yourself, how can I begin to practice excellence? And how can I trickle into every area of my life? Be excellent in your communication with your spouse, with your children. Do not neglect one area. The area you neglect will become cancerous to everything else. Because if you neglect your children and your business grows and your children runs wild, and it's going to affect your business, because then you got to focus on your kid and all the trouble he's getting into. So if you build everything from the get-go, establishing the relationship with everything you can, communication is key to any relationship. I feel that. Don't neglect your marriage to build your business, because at the end of the day, you might just end up with just your business and not your marriage. So pay attention, like make excellence a lifestyle. Let it trickle into everything so that it can all begin to grow. Just imagine when it comes to excellence, you're a gardener, right? And when you are practicing excellence, you are just remembering to water the seeds and nurture the seeds and allow the sunlight to go. And I'm a big believer in God. And I believe that when we sow our seeds and we do all that we can, he's the one that brings the increase. Because we could plant an orange, but we can't control how many oranges come out of the orange seed. So just do what you can with what you have. You might not have all the resources. You might not live in an area where you can do a lot. You may not have a lot of followers. You may not have a lot of leads. Give 100% with where you are at. Faithful with little leads to faithful with much. And when you're faithful with little, you let yourself know, I'm ready for more. If you're faithful with 10 clients, you're ready for 100. But if you can't handle 10, you can't go to 100. If you're faithful with your 6 figures, you're ready for 7. But if you can't handle 6 figures, you're not ready for 7. So make excellence a lifestyle. All right. So if you guys have any questions, we'll open it up for Q&A now. Oh, the 11 keys to excellence. Everybody has it? Everybody has the 11 keys? I'll go over it one time. Key 1, first value excellence. Key 2, never settle for average. Key 3, pay attention to detail. Key 4, remain committed to what really matters. And then you could put the 4 Ds. Key 5, display integrity and sound ethics. Key 6, show genuine respect for others. Key 7, go the second mile. Key 8, demonstrate consistency. Key 9, never stop improving. Key 10, always give 100%. And key 11, make excellence a lifestyle. All right, amazing people.
Yeah. That was awesome. As usually, you have the most, I will say, professional presence in explaining everything. I think you can take a newspaper and take an article, and it's gonna still sound awesome. So I appreciate you, sir.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
for all the 11 steps. Appreciate also uh, the way you explain each of them, because it's important for us to understand, where we're standing at. And even more important, as a question, if anybody has any question, we are more than happy to take it. But before that, can you please break down, like, within these 11 steps, if it's any order that you have to use them, or if it's any sequence that you recommend people to kind of start to learn it, to incorporate in their life as a habit?
So the first thing is, I would say, what is excellence to you? Somebody had mentioned here that excellence is different to each person. It is, based off of your upbringing, based off of your culture, your country, whatever it is, your experience, you know what excellence is. I mean, excellence for a CEO is going to be different for an employee. Excellence for an employee versus an entrepreneur is going to be different. Excellence for a server versus a realtor are going to be different. So what is excellence to you? And then going in deeper. And that's where it goes back into, I don't know if I used the term before, but brain dumping. Like, what is in your mind, and take it out into a sheet of paper. There's a lot going on in our mind. And sometimes it's like a ball of yarn that's completely raveled up, and we got to kind of unravel it one thought at a time. Giving yourself 10 to 15 minutes to really say, how can I be excellent today? What is it that I need to work on? That is going to start causing the difference. And I would say just do it in order. Start with valuing excellence. Give yourself a week to just work on valuing excellence, looking around you, looking at your own car. Like this week, I realized, I'm like, man, I got to put my car through a car wash. It's not excellence to drive around when it's looking like this. So just little things like that, value excellence, being aware of excellence and allowing it to trickle in. And I think the other step besides value is continue working on giving 100%, but really going through the list. And I say, treat it like a diagnosis. So one thing I do with my clients is we do a full consultation of the 4 pillars of health. And based off of whatever they just disagreed to, that's what they got to focus on. So whatever you disagreed to on the 11 keys to excellence that you said, oh crap, like I'm not doing that, that's what you got to focus on. Because if you already got it set up, just continue doing what you've been doing. But if you feel like you haven't been showing respect to others, you're not going to say it here in the comments, but you're going to be like, yo, I've actually been a little bit of a jerk to some people. Just showing genuine respect to others needs to be what you got to focus on. Or giving 100%, you realize you've been kind of slacking and using the excuse of the pandemic, and you're just waiting on certain things, and you're not going the extra mile because of COVID, and you're really using the excuses. So then you realize, like, no, I need to give 100%. And I've just noticed that as you go through it, there's going to be a conviction on one of those. That's what you got to focus on. Keeping the other ones going, but focusing. And if you see the list, they all intertwine at the end of the day, but they have their details attached to them. Pay attention to details is contradicting being perfect. How do you explain that? When paying attention to detail is really perfectionism itself? Okay, no. So paying attention, so perfectionism means that if it's not perfect, you're not going to perform. Paying attention to detail is just knowing that, like, okay, the other day, one of my business partners was making a presentation, and in the presentation, it was a PowerPoint, and the background of the PowerPoint, he kept changing the dimensions. So one of them had like a frame and the other ones didn't. And I told him, hey, look, what you have to do is put them all the same, because it's going to look like you skipped them out. So paying attention to detail is like me as an advisor of what was taking place. I said, let's take off the borders and make sure that every PowerPoint is exactly the same. That's paying attention to detail. Perfectionism is like, redo the whole thing. This isn't working. You just have to figure it out, because I was so bothered by the borders that I just can't even look at it and I can't deal with it. That's perfectionism. Perfectionism is like, it's like a gross expansion of detail and caring too much about certain things. Did you understand? Okay, cool. That was a great question though. And that's when I tell people, like, continue allowing yourself to be perfected, but don't be a perfectionist. So allow things to be perfected. Doesn't mean that you just let everything go to crap, but don't be a perfectionist, because that you also focus too much when you're a perfectionist versus when you're just paying attention to detail. All right. Did I get everyone's question?
Let me see if I have any other question. Let me see on Facebook. Okay, I don't see on the Facebook very well, but was another question here. Yeah, it is regarding the, like the how you define the excellence if you're talking about different fields. So if it's anything that's going to be different from a field to another, because we already talked about each person has a different level of excellence. But when we're talking about different fields, there's anything that you make the difference between the standards that you need to achieve as excellence, if it's in a field or other, or it's going to be level up?
Yeah, so I know that like in real estate, people bring cookies or certain cakes or just certain things that when they're doing a viewing, I just know because my friend works for, like, they do bakeries and stuff, and they were asking her if she had cookies, and I've also heard from people in real estate. So excellence would be having that cookie available. It's just going that little bit of extra step, and you have the cookie available, and you're making sure that you don't have crumbs on your shirt when you brought the cookies. And it's just really paying attention to that. Now, when you're a fitness coach, excellence is doing like what I said, like making sure that the people who are not using the gym are getting out of the gym. So you're not just taking their money, but you're actually making sure they're getting the results that they need, and that you're connecting with your clients. Key thing is just being available and caring about people is a sign of excellence. If you know that the client you're going to speak to is gluten-free, then you go and you get a gluten-free cookie. That's excellence, because you listened and you paid attention and you're communicating. And realize excellence in business is only going to be an upper hand. I know it sounds like more work, but people are going to be like, dang, he got the gluten-free cookie. I want this guy. It's like when you pay attention to detail and you do these little things, people appreciate it. Excellence is also like sending out Christmas cards to all your business partners. Little things like that. It's just going a little bit above. And trust me, I feel the conviction as I say it, because I don't have it all together. I'm still learning how to do these things. I'm still learning the whole process of it. But when I saw these 11 keys to excellence, I was like, I got to share this, because I'm a big person of like, whatever's helping me win, I want other people to win with me, because I just love to see people win. I feel like there's so much room for growth out here. Me winning doesn't mean you losing, and breaking out of that mindset is what's going to continue taking you far. So for whoever wants to host the next thing, just add tons of value, because we all can use it. We all can use these words of encouragement to take us on. Red and black game. Yes. Exactly. Awesome. Did that answer your question, Peter? You're muted.
I was just trying to say that I already posted on Facebook, and we have some people that I'm trying to figure out the questions. So
Okay.
Sorry about that. Yeah. Okay, can you hear me better? Wonderful.
Yeah.
So yeah, I had like, my throat had some issue in the earlier, but it is like, like for me, it's like, because I I have a background in hospitality, and one of the hotels I work is called Mandarin Oriental. Yes. And one of the things they teach is this. I'm not sure if you see clearly here.
No, I can't read it.
Okay. So this is like how to become a 5-star in everything you do. And it's like always apply the LQEs, which is username, anticipate, contact, smile, greatness, great, and escort the person, and I can post it inside of the I did post this one earlier, like I think like maybe a year ago. I posted inside of the WhatsApp group, but always speaking complete sentence. So like for me, is like when you tell me about excellence, in my mind it was more about this idea about how you're gonna offer excellence to others. So you have a different perspective. There's a reason I ask you if it's any difference between the fields that you have, because like I said, excellence maybe, and yeah, you make a difference between the realtor and the fitness, and which is great, and that's kind of where I was trying to get, because like using excellence in maybe in like medical field, you will be pay attention to your patients, making sure that they're gonna be well treated, and in all those, I would say, things that come along with the field that you are in. So I'm just trying to kind of like for the audience and for people that are listening to us or watching us, I'm just trying to make sure that, if it's anything that is going to be outside of the field, that has to be tapped in to give that fully service or fully engagement with this excellence that we were just talking about, and we can express it or add it on. So in that way, it's going to be more complete. In that way, we can give this, I would say, a different perspective of excellence. So if you have anything in your mind, like like you said in fitness, like you're paying attention to make sure that everybody's gonna come in while you're gonna have the session, and if they don't participate, well, you just say, hey, you can leave anytime if you don't come in, which I think is great. And on the same token, I'm thinking, okay, what would be like one thing that you will recommend for a person that does the same fitness but face to face?
So one thing, which if I'm understanding your question right, you can only control your actions. You can't control how people respond. So all you can do, you can't guarantee someone's going to give you a 5-star review. All you can do is control your actions. You can control what you put out. It's like they say, marry the process and it'll force the results. Your excellence is what you do. And I guess that's also something about perfectionism. Perfectionism is based off of other people's performance as well affecting you. You can only work on things from where you can. Like only you can control what you do, but the response you get, you can't control. So you can set a goal that you're going to make $10,000 more this month. You can't control if you actually make those $10,000 more this month if you're a commission-based business. All you can do is meet your targets. And Grant Cardone shared something recent about targets versus goals. Targets are the actions that you can put in. So if you're a personal trainer, you control, I'm going to show up to work on time. I'm going to smile and engage with my client more. And I'm going to give 100% to my client from the second I'm in front of them to the second I leave, because I also do personal training. Now, if that client gets results, that is up to the client, because when the client leaves, if they choose to drive through a McDonald's drive-through, there's nothing the personal trainer can do when that client is choosing to go the opposite direction. So excellence is you doing your part. Other people practicing excellence is none of your business. That's not your responsibility. You're responsible to their success. You're not responsible for their success. Same thing as a business leader. I work with network marketing, and I know that I'm responsible to showing up and guiding people, but I'm not responsible if my team is successful or not. That's everyone else's personal decision. So as a personal trainer, as a realtor, whatever it is, you know when you're giving forth your maximum effort, or if you're just there, but you're just kind of showing up. Like they say, half-assing things, like, when you're doing that, when you're not. We've all had those moments. We can't say, oh no, I've always given 100%. Like, let's be real. Sometimes you're tired. Sometimes you're not motivated. Sometimes you kind of just don't even want to have a conversation with this person, which is fine, but don't allow that to be 80% of your business. Maybe make that like the 5% of the days out of your week and really just working on how can I show up and what can I do to put forth maximum effort. Because the personal trainer I was when I first started versus the one that I am now, the only difference is the excellence that I've learned to really connect with my clients and be available and be present and connect deeper. But that's all a personal decision. And whether my client chooses to get results or not, I've helped a lady drop over 180 pounds. And then I have people who join my programs and are like, oh, this isn't working. So it's like, it's up to you how it's going to work out. But you are responsible for your actions. How people respond, you can't control.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that, sir. It was a great input as usually. Yeah, please tell us, how we can find more about you, where we can find you, and how if someone wants to go deeper into it, the excellence side, how they can reach out.
All right, perfect. So I'm gonna pull up my. I could share a screen, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So I'm going to show you guys my Instagram, because on my Instagram, you can just access everything. Everybody here has Instagram. If not, I could show you other ways. Okay, cool. Awesome. So I'm going to share screen. Okay, what's up, guys? Welcome to my phone, and that's my girlfriend. Hold on a second. Where is Instagram? When you got all these things and you can't even find, there it is. Okay. Let me switch accounts. All right, cool. Okay, so this is my Instagram. If you access my Instagram, you'll see this is like where I give all my information. I do IG. This is my reels where I give like information. IGTVs is where I really connect with my audience. I speak to people. If you like how I spoke today, definitely turn on post notifications to hear more about my like IGTVs. So you'll get more live series. And then this is a recent transformation that I shared. A lady who dropped 30 pounds. And then our slogan is take the journey. And this is a guy, he's 32 and he finally got to drop out of his belly fat. This is some of the basic package. So I have an online coaching gym. It's $50 just starting. If you just want to have access to our online workouts, you could join us through Zoom at 6 a.m. Eastern time, or you have access to a private platform, over 90 workouts. And then if you go into the comments, hold on. You'll see if you want to see this later, you can go in and my clients have been sharing testimonials of their experience. And so like right here, I began my journey a month ago. I've already lost 6 pounds, several inches. Joining the gym has been the best decision I've made. The best coach ever. He has such a heart to help others achieve healthy mindset and reach their goals. So if you want to know how to access my coaching program, you go to the bio right here and it says Linktree. And it's going to take you to all my different links. I have a Facebook group. It's free. You can join there. And then this Out of Shape, Out of Excuses, this is going to take you into my website. So you can check out here, different packages. If you're into more like you need to have a one-time conversation, that would be the $100 package. If you feel like you need more accountability, these are the packages. We talk once a week or talk twice a week. And this would be more about like high performance coaching, basically breaking down your lifestyle. You see, we go more into detail about the 11 keys to excellence, help you create a vision board, getting everything all established. And then this is if you need 2 calls a week, you need to talk on a Monday to Friday and just basically get your life back on track. My coaching program is a seasonal thing. This is not something you need to be dependent on for the rest of your life. My goal is to be like Mr. Miyagi and Karate Kid. Like you get the kid ready for the battle and he's ready for the rest of his life. So this is my website. You can check it out. If you want to see it on your computer, it's Patreon, patreon.com/Brandex Journey. You can access it directly here on Instagram as well. And I also have a holistic shop. So if you guys are looking to do a fiber cleanse, you're looking to strengthen your immune system. I've worked in the immune system and holistic health industry for over 8 years. As of May, it's going to be 8 years. So you could check out my online website. We've got #1 in immune system in the US in the last 2 years. So you could check it out here. And if you want to do like body transformations, face products, This is a product I use for 10xing my brain. It's called Recall. It helps with restoring oxygen circulation. I actually took one before we had this conversation because I had a little Sunday nap a little bit ago, and it helped me get focused and diligent. This is what I've replaced coffee with. So I have a stick of this in the morning, and it has yerba mate, amino acids, and green tea extracts. So it's a replacer coffee in a natural way. We have zinc, the only zinc and silver combined. So it's the only product with zinc and ionic silver combined. And then this is something that's been a really big hit. I've helped countless amount of people, close to 100 people, detox through these products as well. So if you need to do a fiber cleanse, it's the first thing I recommend for you to get the junk out of your system. So this is like a full detox kit. You would do a 10-day cleanse, probiotics. We have a liver cleanse, digestive enzymes, aloe vera, and an immune booster. Average American has over 20 pounds of poop trapped in their intestines. So I help people get that out. And we've had amazing transformations with that. But also our probiotics, these right here, you see the two on the right, they're some of the only probiotics that actually make it to the gut. Majority of your immune system is in the gut. Close to 80% of your immune system thrives in the gut. And majority of probiotics don't even make it to the gut because they get destroyed by your stomach acid. So our probiotics are scientifically proven to make it to the gut. If you see it here, you can check out these websites all in the link in bio, and it'll just explain it here that you basically, it has micro beadlet technology. So we have beads within the probiotic. It doesn't have to be refrigerated. You take it and it actually makes it to your large intestine where it can ferment and be healthy bacteria. So I am a certified weight specialist, certified personal trainer, currently studying to be a nutritionist. So when I do accountability calls, it's a mindset based off of like how you heard today, physical training. As you see here in my bio, I've been a certified personal trainer 7 years. And I've also been 7 years, going on 8 years in holistic health. And this is my Instagram. Feel free to follow me. You can message me that you're on this call, and I'll give you a free 15-minute call, and we'll take it from there.
Thank you very much, sir.
No problem.
I'm always watching your Instagram, like, damn, how he was making those things there. Like, you know, like I'm trying to figure out this, you know, that stuff. But anyhow, you know, one day we have to dig into that one. One of these days, we have to.
I'd love to show you guys how to use Instagram. I mean, since 2017, I decided this is my new business card. So when I realized that Instagram was my business card, I started treating it with excellence. And I just kept going and pushing, and I had so much attached to it. But awesome.
Yeah.
But thank you guys so much for your time. This was awesome. Did you guys enjoy this? Be real. Just be
100%, 100%. And not only that one, it was interesting because this is the first time when I had like an interesting larger audience on Facebook. I'm like, why did I have more people on Facebook than here? So it was, we have to study that side. Because usually I put it on Facebook Live, and you know, a few people they jumping in, but today it was like, it was interesting. But
Wait.
yeah, I guess because it's Easter and everybody's like, you know, like having families and you know, getting on the other side, which is called eating and create a different excellence in feeding and drinking. I'm not sure.
So I could on Facebook right now. I could share it from my Facebook.
Try to go to see. I think I already posted there. Like I already posted, but I didn't post the entire video. I made bits, so in that way it's not gonna be long. So I try to stop it in and out in that way to make sure that, you know, people are saying, like, usually when you start a new live, it's popping on the top when you start something new. So I learned that one from somebody else, and I was trying to apply it. Like, you know, instead for me to do a live for 1 hour, I stop and start, stop and start, stop and start. So people, they're gonna be like, oh, this is a new life. So
one of my clients, I forgot, Jen, the one who dropped over 180 pounds. She's on this call. She's good. She was over 400 pounds for 20 years, and she pushed through, and now she's at 250 pounds. So if you ever feel that you're at an obstacle, I use her as a testimony. It doesn't matter if you've been struggling for over 20 years. You can push through, you can overcome. If there's still life in your body, there is still potential inside of you. So just always remember that and use her testimony. It may not be weight for you. It could be finances. It could be relationships. It could be businesses. Just keep persevering, because if you're still alive, that purpose is still alive. So, all right, I'm done.
No, man, you're not done. You're always on. But yes, for sure. And, I told her last time when we had this conversation to Jen that, it's awesome that she did it, and congratulations. And I think it's all about mindset. At the end of the day, we have to take a decision to take anything and to move anything that we have. If we're not moving ourselves the needle and trying to push ourselves, nobody will do it except us. So if anybody wants to learn these 11 steps of excellence and apply in their life, they have to start with themselves and start to push them every day, change them. Yes. 1 week, 2 weeks for each of the steps. Yeah. About there.
Yeah, you take it as you can, and you'll know. I mean, it's like intuitive. The same way it should be intuitive eating. You should know what you should be eating. You should know which level. From the list that was given and the descriptions that were given, you'll know which one you should push forward more. So
we'll do so. Thank you very much, sir. One more time. Happy Easter forward. And thank you very much. And looking forward to talk with you soon and make another Crush 21 together, and maybe to see each other again.
Awesome. Yeah,
Thank
he lives
you,
in the city. We're not too far from each other.
Yeah, like a few minutes, but it seems like it's like I don't know, miles and miles.
Bless.
See you, sir.
God bless.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.